There needs to definitely be more communication. One other thing that I don't see on this preliminary list of cuts, and maybe Mr. Boyce is considering it, but I think we do need to revisit again courtesy busing. I mean, there's obviously savings there. I hope it's something that you're looking at. I know some of the districts have it, but not all of them do, so I'm hoping that you'll revisit that and take another look at that. And for the community that's looking to help and the students that are asking you, what can we do, what can you do? With all due respect, it's wonderful to hear everyone's concerns, but the board members in this room care about education. That's why they're here. We're talking to the wrong people. You need to get out there. You need to be at your town council meetings. You need to be calling your mayors. You need to be calling your councilmen. You need to be calling your Monmouth County superintendent. You need to be calling State Senator Beck, your assemblyman. I mean, you have to get up. You have to yell and scream and shout. Not here. Outside of here. Get all the students in your school to show up at your town council meetings. Only 3 of the 8 towns have passed a resolution. I mean, in Colts Neck, we're actively involved in trying to fight to save this school district. And everyone else needs to rally and do the same. So, I mean, it's just a really, really sad time for this district. I respect the hard work you're all doing, and I hope this comes to a better resolution than what we're anticipating. Thank you.
Mary Beth tomorrow.
Yeah, Beth Tomorrow, Colts Neck, New Jersey. There's a couple of points I wanted to bring up. You know, I've been reading the paper and online and looking and talking to our Board of Education in Colts Neck, and we're very involved, and you know I'm very involved at the high school level as well. But through all of this, I find it very interesting, and I am an advocate of education. You know, I don't want to see any cuts anywhere, but there has been absolutely no mention of the county vocational schools, and their cost per pupil currently is over $16,000 per student. I'm curious if any of you have asked our representatives why they go untouched. Why is it that their programs aren't being devastated the way the general education is being devastated at the Freehold Regional High School District? We all know that the special education programs are mandated by the state, as well they should be. Obviously, the elite in our county are unscathed as well. So what is happening is that our regular education students, a lot of them honor students, my daughter included, who are killing themselves to pursue good grades, have a well-rounded education, get their resumes filled up, are the ones that are losing. Not the elite, not the special needs. Once again, general education. I have heard no mention of anyone, any Board of Education, in any of the townships asking why those numbers are not touched. I'd like someone to do that. Has anyone on any of the Board of Education's questioned the mayors as to what their police departments are going to do at 2, 10, and 3 o'clock in the afternoon when 12,000 Freehold Regional High School kids get out of school and have nothing to do? Colts Neck is cutting 2 police officer jobs. Are we going to, kids are going to be wandering, they have no activities, they have nothing to keep themselves focused. My concern as community members would be, what do the mayors plan on doing? Obviously, Colts Neck's not increasing their enforcement, they're cutting. My third question would be, has any of the Board of Education members across the Freehold Regional District asked the governor if he plans on putting a cover letter on every graduating Freehold Regional High School District's resume to every university in the country, stating that please don't pay too much attention to the fact that our students have had activities for freshman, sophomore, and junior year, but nothing in senior year. It's not their fault. Have had no control over any of this. Their programs, their sports, I don't care what it might. I have 2 daughters, and I sit here, and part of me is very grateful because my last and youngest daughter is graduating. in June. So really this, doesn't affect my family personally, but it does, because I know when to push that yes lever both times. Because it affects my property value. It affects the reputation of my community and the value of my home. But I would ask the governor to put a cover letter on, because their resumes will pale in comparison to those they are competing for those freshman seats at these elite colleges throughout the country. And last but not least, I am imploring this Board of Education to appeal, hands down appeal. We will have probably, if not the lowest cost per pupil in the state of New Jersey. That is frightening to me. I understand we need to cut. I understand spending is out of control in New Jersey. But this is already a fiscally responsible Board of Education. We are a fiscally responsible school district. And I would ask you to contact all of the townships and go in there and group appeal, appeal together. Because none of you deserve the cuts that are being made. And it will really affect education, and it will be very, very hard to make this up in years to come.
I think it's probably pretty safe to say that the overall attitude of the board is, as both Mary Beth and Henry said, appeal, appeal, appeal. I do have to point out, though, that there is something to lose, because once you get to that stage, you are at the mercy of the Commissioner of Education. He can do whatever he wants.
You're below.
You preach it to the choir. I'm just saying that Mr. Schundler, in his infinite wisdom, can do anything he wants at that point. So, yes, we believe we have a very strong case, but...
Well, Mary Beth brought up a good point. You're 100% right on the Monmouth County Vocational School programs and all their specialty programs, the biotech and the others. I appeared before them, I think it was a year or two, because of the tuition increases, because there's no control. They just raise what they want. You have to get to the freeholders. That's where the power base is. They don't have to go to the public. They get their increases. The year we went, we were fortunate because Mrs. McMorrow was the freeholder, and the increase was smaller than it should have been. We had someone to advocate. You got to get to the freeholders and bombard them, because it's unfair that they're untouched and our programs get hurt. So we've done that. I did say to the mayors exactly what you said. You put these kids out on the street, you cut athletic programs, and you cut them to the nothing, and the kids have nothing to do. The only place they're going to go is the mall and the movie theater. They don't spend money there. They just hang out. It's going to cause nothing but problems. And I got a blank look on the faces. It's very sad that we're in this situation, and we didn't cause it. And when I say we, I mean we as a whole, the education community. But you can't even talk about education today without people getting angry at you. And, it is what it is. We did the best we could. The board, we're trying to be proactive. Mr. Boyce and I wrote a letter to the governor, I think, what was it, Sean, his first week in office in January. We talked about the cost effectiveness of this district. We talked about adequacy spending, and it fell on deaf ears. I don't even know, did we get a response? We never even got a response. That was in January. The mission is very clear. The mission is anti-teacher, anti-education, anti-NJEA, and other things, as Mr. Moses said, that are going on, that people have their own personal agendas.